The Headless Ones, the Hall Between, guardian legends that have been twisted and told as long as the city has been around. Last year, we were introduced to these monstrosities, and Glint had an investigation to try and learn the truth. This year, the tales continue with Eido and some spooky revelations. Over the next couple of days leading up to Halloween and the Festival of the Lost Season, we're going to be taking a look at these stories, today beginning with the Drowned Captain. Phison of House Dusk, loyal to Krask, Kell of Kings, slayer of Lightbearers and Cabal, lay silently beneath the dark waters. The dull eyes of Cabal legionaries peered thoughtlessly into the darkness as they slogged through the water like livestock. And when Phison rose up, blades gleaming in all four hands, roaring with the might of House Dusk, the Cabal cried out in their cruel and blundering tongue, their mouths fetid with fear, and they were slain. From that day on, Phison of House Dusk had earned a new accolade among the Elixni. He was henceforth known as the Drowned Captain. So he cut off his own arm? Eido asked wearily. Drifter flicked a coin at an empty cookpot where it pinged against the rim and bounced away. He tripped and fell on his own damn sword, Drifter corrected. A little different. But it didn't kill him? Nah, he left that to the Guardian. But the Ode claims, you readin' poetry? I got one for ya, Drifter said mischievously and cleared his throat. There once was a fallen named Phison, who took on a team of 3 Lightspawn. He saw they were armed, and he spoke with alarm. If I knew we would fight, I'd be long gone. Eido loomed over the gathered hatchlings who huddled together nervously. Drifter loitered nearby. The Drowned Captain feared nothing, Eido intoned. So when he saw the 3 glowing eyes in the cave mouth, he opened fire. Eido mimed furious shooting with all 4 hands. But after he stopped, the creature was not felled. Instead, she said, her voice dropping to a low rasp, it advanced. Purple flames poured from the creature's eyes, she said, leaning forward. It let loose a deafening shriek. Drifter, sensing his cue, let loose a blood-curdling scream, causing the hatchlings to jump and chitter in fright. And when the scream ended, Phison of House Dusk, the Drowned Captain, had disappeared, Eido whispered, and was never seen again. Phison of House Dusk, loyal to Krask, Kell of Kings, was tested by wave after wave of Cabal intruders. But each platoon that lumbered witlessly into his lair fell to pieces beneath the Elixni hero's blades. Their entrails disgorged into the stagnant water, and their bleats of fear echoed off the cavern walls. However, just as his victory was assured, the Elixni hero felt a blade slide into his back between his lower arms. A drag's knife, sharpened by betrayal, became his undoing. And so, Phison of House Dusk slid beneath the water once more. Father, you once served the House of Dusk alongside Phison, the Drowned Captain, did you not? Eido kept her tone casual. His reputation was known by all, Mithrax replied cautiously. The Odes say he was a ferocious warrior, Eido prompted, who killed many Cabal. They speak of his bravery. Mithrax fidgeted silently with the regulator on his ether rebreather. Was it not so? She insisted. Phison was incompetent, Mithrax grumbled. He once blew a hole in the side of his own catch attempting the right of 6 hands with a live grenade. He was a buffoon. Yet the Odes are for hatchlings, Mithrax replied more forcefully than intended. They make glory of desperation and bravery of ignorance. As a scribe, he continued more calmly, you must learn to see the truth in such wishful thoughts. I tell tale of the Drowned Phison, House Dusk Captain, with the sword drawn on machine spawn, and Cabal, and with our house, our captain led against the Legion, risen dead, our foes ahead, Phison's call. But Drowned Phison had at his back betrayers lunging to attack, and one, a Saxoff coward, took sharpened knife and drove it through Phison's armor, and others too violence anew, empowered. But dead and still, a whisper came. It spoke of terror, undone shame. Violet eyes aflame, ether gone, a tongue of fire, a screaming head, a creature made of seething dread, and it is said, drowned Phizon. Phizon of House Dusk, loyal to Krask, Kell of Kings, lay betrayed. As his life ether flowed into the murky water, he heard a call. It was not the call of his Kell, nor of his dregs. It was not the call of the great machine, nor that of the awoken prince. It was the call of the voice in the darkness, which bade him to rise, reborn and remade in a form both terrible and terrifying. And as Phizon rose, no longer of House Dusk, he roared with flame that poured from his mouth and eyes, and his spirit longed for ether no more. Spider, I wish to ask you about Phizon, the drowned captain, Eido prompted. No doubt you've heard the odes. Spider chuckled sardonically. Huh, I wish I knew who wrote them. I could use a liar like that in my operation. My father also doubted their veracity, Eido said, intrigued. There was a reason Phizon died guarding a hole in the ground, Spider chortled. Krask knew he was a liability. If he was so widely ridiculed, why do the odes honor him? Eido asked, puzzled. Spider surveyed the ether tank shrewdly. It's the first rule of propaganda, little scribe. Everyone is either a friend or foe. There's no room for nuance. But in the real world, Eido supplied, that's all there is, Spider finished. Two guardians were riding a sparrow through the EDZ, Glint began. Eido typed into her datapad. They were both on one sparrow? She asked flatly, not looking up. Yes, Glint said. They stopped at the side of the road because the sparrow had broke down. One went to look for supplies, and the other waited inside and locked the doors. The sparrow had doors? This one did, Glint said, and they were locked. But then the guardian heard a scratching at the door, from outside. Eido stopped typing, watching Glint with interest. And a voice said, "Let me in," and the guardian opened the door, but there was nobody there. Glint bobbed in the air, whispering a tremulous, "Ooh." And? Eido asked. Glint stopped moving and glanced back and forth. That's the end, he said. Eido's notes were brief. So there you have it, Guardians, some tales about this drowned captain from Eido trying to learn more from various characters like Spider, and Glint with a weird story there at the end. Be sure to check out the channel in the next couple of days for the Legion Lost lore pages, as well as the findings of Eido from the Volume 2 entries of the Tales of the Forgotten lore book. If you'd like to see some other Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.